Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is me Ratna. This video is part 3 of Management of Support Services, Institutions and Programs for Children, Youth and Elderly. Part 2nd is about youth and part 1 is about children. I shared both parts earlier. You have to watch part 1 and part 2. Then you will be able to understand this chapter, this topic very clearly. So let's begin. Today I will tell you about elderly. After watching this video, you will be able to know about why services, institutions and programs are needed for elderly. Definitely why the elder pupils are vulnerable. What services, institutions and programs are needed for them. The aspect involved in management of institutions and programs. You will be know what knowledge and skills required to manage and run an institutions and program for child, youth and elderly, and you become aware of the career opportunities available in this field. So let's begin. In a number of countries, a senior citizen is a person in the age group of 65 years and above. Just note it. In other countries, when we are talking about India, here senior citizen constitute persons in the age group of 60 years and above. So there is a 5-year difference. There has been a steady rise in the population of older person in India since life expectancy, which was approximately 29 years in 1947, has increased to 69.3 years in 2009-13 for females and 65.8 years for males. So the life expectancy is increases. India is the home of the second largest number of senior citizens in the world after China. The number of elderly will account for nearly 9% of the population in 2016. So just take a look on the special features of elderly population. Majority means 80% of them are in the rural areas, thus making service delivery a challenge. Feminization of the elderly population. Increase in the number of old person above than 80 years. Their number is increased nowadays. A large percentage, that is 30% of the senior citizen, is below the poverty line. This is very surprisingly that 30% of elder population in India is below poverty line. So elders are vulnerable. कभी सोचा why? What is the reason? Health is a big reason. It is a major concern for individuals at this age. Aging also brings certain disabilities. For example, low vision occur, loss of mobility, loss of hearing, loss of memory is in many cases. because of physiological conditions get affected, so they are more vulnerable to disease, hypertension, and indigestion. Another reason of their vulnerability is that feeling of loneliness or isolations, because today's time is a busy time for everyone is busy to fulfill their needs, to fulfill their target, their aims, and to change their lifestyle, to make their lifestyle better. So everybody is busy, and that's why you elder feel isolates, loneliness or isolation. Many of elders are dependent on young generation for financial needs, which brings stress in them because they don't like to be dependent in terms of finance on younger people. This is a Indian elders mentality. Next, certain features of city life like nuclear families, lack of free time, etc., lead to reduced support within the immediate and extended family. Government has adopted national policy for older person in 1999. Not only that reasons that youth are vulnerable, there are some opportunities for them also, but they have to get that opportunities, they have to find, because they have potential. So the above description should not make to think you that there are only problem and difficulties in old age. It doesn't mean that. Many old people continue to lead productive and happy lives. In many families, the elderly are well respected. What is needed is to recognize the elderly as a human resource and their rich experience and residual capacities be put the optimum use for the benefit of national development. Their abilities to lead healthy and fruitful lives should be ensured by the government. The government, as I tell you earlier, adopted a scheme, that is National Policy for Older Person, in 1999. So there are different programs organized by government and non-government organization, Panchayati Raj institutions, local bodies are implementing different type of programs for the elderly in India. Some of the programs operating in the country for the elderly are as follows, that is programs catering food, shelter and health care for elderly, program to fill intergeneration gap between elderly and youth done by members of Nehru Yuva Kendra, programs for providing institutional care. So institutional care like hospitals, nursing care, as well non-institutional care like guest flats, sheltered flats, day centers, and programs for providing institution, that is I am told you, research awareness building programs in the field of aging, old age homes to provide food and care, shelter, respite care homes for elder persons who are seriously ill. For example, Ashiana Respite Care Home. Programs to fill generation gap between elderly and youth done by the members of Nehru Yuva Kendra. Programs to encouraging active and productive aging social services, programs for providing institutional cares. Next is mental health care and specialized care for the older persons to provide mental health care intervention programs to the elderly, multi-service centers for older people to provide education, entertainment, health and care, mobile Medicare units to provide medical care to the older people living in rural areas, daycare centers for Alzheimer patients who are elder, helpline and counseling centers for older persons, physiotherapy clinics for older persons, sensitizing programs for children at schools, and awareness generation programs for older persons and caregivers like self-care, preventive health care, disease management, preparation for old age, intergenerational bonding, training to caregivers to the old person is also a program. Beside this, one more program is there for elder person, that is National Old Age Pension Scheme, abbreviated as NOAPS. So, National Old Age Pension Schemes meant for old persons who are considered destitute. Destitute means not having any regular means of subsistence on their own through the financial support from family members. Beneficiaries should be above than 65 years, need to provide proof of age and their destitute status. The state government can add to the amount from their own resources. The amount of old age pension is 200 per month from the central government. Means central government provide 200 per month. This scheme is implemented in the state and union territories through panchayats and municipalities, and the pension may be vary state to state. Now, when you want a career in this field and you are preparing for a career, then a career in management of institution and programs for children, youth and elderly will need honing of the abilities and skills of a planner, manager and an evaluator, maybe even an entrepreneur. In this field, you can work as manager or in charge of certain activities in the functioning program and institution, set up an organizations for youth, children and elderly, and another is pursue a career in management of institutions and programs for youth, child and elderly. So different skills and abilities are needed when you are preparing for career in this field. So just take a look what skills and abilities needed. There are two type of skills is needed, that is pupil skill and administrative skill. You must have both the skills. You have the pupil skills and also the administrative skills. In pupil skills, the community, the private sector, the official in the government and pupil within the organization. These come. So pupil skills, running or working in an organization means interacting with people in different roles and from different backgrounds. The following are the some groups of people you will likely to be interact with, which I told you, like the community, the private sector, etc. So the community, a program or an institution for children will be successful in the community feels a sense of involvement and ownership with it. For this, the program is planned by the involving the pupil for whom it is intended right from the start. Participatory planning, management and implementation are the pillars of effective program. Thus, building linkage with the community and evoking community participation will be a major aspect of your work if you want to make your career in this field. Second one is the private sector. The private sector financial institution, companies and organizations have come in a big way to support innovative programs and institutions. This is a positive step as it is an opportunity for the private sector to discharge its social responsibilities. Next is the officials in the government. You may need to interact with government departments for various purposes, including funding, fulfilling other legal requirements. And last pupil skill is to deal with people within the organization. For smooth functioning of the organization, it is important that the pupil, both beneficiaries and the personnel working therein, enjoy a harmonious relationship with each other. Cultivating cordial interpersonal relations is a major factor in the success of an organization. So these are the pupil skill. Now we talk about administrative skill. What administrative skill is needed? Running or managing an organization or program involves handling finance, recruiting personnel, renting space, buying equipment, and maintaining records and stocks. So, these are the aspects to consider for establish a support service organizations. While there may be other specific people dealing with each of these aspects, it would also be necessary and helpful for the youth to have a basic understanding of the issues involved in each of these, either in handling finance, recruiting personnel, renting space or buying equipment, etc. So these are the administrative skills. Aspect to consider for establishing a support service organization. Some person may even wish to start or establish a new organization for some specific needy target group. Such enterprising persons will need to consider the aspect of appropriate location, finance to run the organization, the target beneficiaries, that is, who should be it catered to suit, and the service combination of services to be provided. What services is to be provided? While recruiting or recruitment of the staff with the different skill and knowledge base to handle the various aspects of the program, including handling formalities of registering the organization, implementing the program, improving the activities based on periodic evaluation and feedback. Last but not the least, the person needs to have vision about what he or she wants to achieve, how the organization will contribute to meet the needs of the target group. A person with a vision is usually deeply committed to that cause and has a strong passion for work in that area. So vision is must. Now, what qualification is required for this field? Undergraduate degree in home science, also known as other names such as family and community sciences, home economics, or social work, or any other social sciences. You can have, no, it is not must, but you can have a post-graduation degree in this field. Along with pursuing a program of study through the conventional system, you can also explore the opportunities provided by the open and distance learning in the country to pursue programs which will equip you with the work with children, youth and elderly. Special training is required in that area. The IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University, offers different programs which may be of your interest. These programs can be done along with studying for the regular degree courses. Some such courses are certificate programs in NGO management, diploma in youth development work. So what are the scope? Depending upon the type of programs you wish to be involved with and your own inclination, the fields offer a variety of possibilities for you. So what are the possibilities? So career avenues is set up your own institution for service to any target group, be a manager in an established institution or a program, be functionally at any level cadre, and be researcher consulting with assessing, evaluating existing programs and institutions. So these are the career avenues in the field of management of child, youth, management of institution and programs for children, youth and elderly. I hope you understand this topic very clearly. There is a review question for you. What are the some of the concern with the respect to elderly? Why are the elderly vulnerable? What advice will you give to someone who is planning to set up his own institutions for children, youth and elderly? And describe the knowledge and skills you will need in order to pursue a career management of institutions and program for children, youth and elderly. That's all about this topic. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and feel free to ask if you have any query. Just write in comment box. You will be definitely satisfied. Thank you so much.